Arsenal women are finally back to winning ways, and it's a relief felt across the Emirates after a rough spell. They claimed a narrow but vital 1-0 victory over Brighton and Hove Albion this afternoon. The goal came early in the 15th minute, but not in the way Gunners might have drawn it up. A cross from Olivia Smith deflected off Marisa Olislega's, looping past goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie as an own goal. That slim margin was enough. Arsenal held on despite pressure, and in so doing broke a 4-game winless streak in the WSL. It wasn't exactly a dominant performance in the final third. Arsenal struggled to convert chances, registering only 4 shots on target despite creating 40 box entries compared to Brighton's mere 8. Brighton, meanwhile, had 5 shots on target and on several occasions tested Daphne van Domsela, who had to make solid saves to keep clean sheet and preserve the lead. Arsenal came close to doubling their lead late in the game with Stina Blackstenius met a Katie Maccabi corner with a header that rattled the bar. Another great chance in stoppage time also just went wide. Midfielder Mariona Caldente was a standout. She led the team in accurate passes, making 63 passes, with 37 of those passes being in the final third, and was joined top in the chances created, having 3 chances created before being substituted in the second half. That said, this was only Arsenal's second clean sheet of the WSL campaign, showing that defensive solidity is still a work in progress this season. The match was overshadowed by a worrying injury in the second half, with Brighton defender Melis Mpome being struck in the face and collapsing, prompting a 10-minute stoppage. She was stretchered off with a neck brace and oxygen mask in scenes that stunned the whole stadium. The severity of the injury forced a long break, interrupting momentum and heightening tension in the final stretch. Thankfully, updates suggest she received immediate medical attention and the scenes were handled with urgency and care. Going into this fixture, Arsenal's season had started with promise but had recently unraveled. They dropped points in draws, suffered defeats, and came in today's game under tangible pressure. In fact, just last week, they narrowly lost 3-2 to Manchester City, conceding a late winner in the 88th minute. In domestic terms, they also struggled with set-piece defending in previous matches, a recurring issue analysts flagged in the WSL talking points. Yet despite those struggles, there's one interesting stat. When Arsenal score first in the WSL, they avoid defeat. 24 games unbeaten in matches where they opened the scoring. Today's win also snapped a 5-game winless run across all competitions. Arsenal have had 2 draws and 3 losses. With this result, Arsenal leapfrog Brighton in the table, climbing into 6th place with 8 points. Brighton sit just behind in 7th, a point adrift. From Rennes Legas, this win could be a turning point after bringing home the Champions League last season. Expectation is high and the pressure has been growing, with the squad still trying to hit full rhythm. Now Arsenal must build on this. They'll want to tighten defense, sharpen their finishing, and ensure they don't rely on deflections or scrappy goals. But as a statement, they showed resilience, they grounded a result, and they answered a question many were asking: do they still have fight? If they can keep this momentum, they might turn the narrative of a faltering season back in their favor. So stay tuned, guys, because after a day like today, nothing about this Arsenal side should be taken for granted.